Hey, what's up and welcome. I am Matthew Msengati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the man from Coded Design. As you can see, I have been busy with Shared CN UI series. So somebody asked me a question, I think based on this video, the part 3 of it, okay, or video number 3. Sorry. So I want to answer that. Okay. So this is the video. I was explaining something here in my code, and then somebody asked me, okay, what is the content of children to array function? Okay. Obviously, when I was explaining here, I was explaining something different. And this function, I hope you can see it from there. And this function is part of my code. So obviously, I was not explaining that function. So I didn't want to deviate and explain something else while I'm busy with shared CN. So because somebody has asked, sorry, because somebody has asked, I decided to do a video because I don't want to some sort of answer this here, reply and answer it with some sort of a one line. I think he needs more understanding or to see, okay, and also to understand my logic, which is very important because out of that, he can improve, see what he can use, and see what he can discard, okay? So let's continue. The code that I was using to explain here, it's from a real life project that I'm busy with. It's from a real life project that I'm busy with. It's Lavida. It's an invoicing application. It's some sort of a watered down version or a competitor of your Sage Accounting, of your Zero, of your QuickBooks. I'm going there. And this is some sort of a real life application. This is not like a demo, something that I will discard and not use. This is something that I'm interested in using and making it a real life application. If you might be interested in joining a waiting list, you can just give me your name and your email, and that is it. And then from then, I will give you some update. Also, you can get an access to some sort of the behind the scene, okay, like work in progress, so that you can use the system while it's not out yet, okay? So enough about that, let's get back to business, okay? Let's just jump to the code quickly, okay? So when I was explaining, there was this function children to array, okay? Obviously, it was children to array then, okay? So there's something called code refactoring. So as you work on your code, you start to notice some patterns, okay? Some things that you can some sort of make make simple. The dots are starting to connect. You are starting to understand your own code. Because in most cases, people think that we write something that we already know beforehand. But for me, it's different. Okay, I code to help me think about what I'm doing. I don't like come with concrete, solid knowledge of everything. Okay. The other thing that you must please be patient with me and understand with me, I can't summarize. That's my weakness. I've got a problem of summarizing. I can't summarize. Hence, I didn't answer the question with only one line. So if maybe I'm taking some time explaining things, I like to explain things once and for all. I believe if you can get into my video and give me the time that I deserve, you will understand exactly what you have to understand. You don't have to watch my video. Sorry, watch my video and you have to mix it with somebody else's video and you have to go to the website and try, because I didn't give you everything. Okay, so it was children to array then, but I have refactored it to be helper underscore children, because this function is acting as a helper. I'm using it as a helper in my code structure. There is a folder helpers here. Okay, so all the functions that are helping me with some sort of small task, and also these functions I can reuse them in another code. I always prefix them with helper, okay, so that anywhere in the code, let's say now my application is big, I've got 6,000 employees working under me, so that I can know that as soon as I see helper, let's say I have retired, I'm a billionaire now, I'm coming back, I feel like let me just check the code. So I must know that once a function is prefixed with helper, where can I find it? Obviously, I must go to this folder, helpers, where is it now? To this folder, and I will find it here. Okay, I hope you got that one. So let's continue. Okay, so I have got this function which is children to array, also the naming convention of it. Okay, it's children to array, so meaning that I'm converting children to array. In terms of the naming conventions, there's a guy called Uncle Bob. Okay, he's very, very, very good in fact in most of the things, but what I know him for, it's clean code. So a part of getting your code clean, it's your naming convention. I used to be careless about the naming convention until I got lost in my own code. I used to write function names like convert. Then after 2 weeks, I won't have a clue as to what I was trying to say here. What is this convert? Okay. So now children to array, it's exactly what the function does. It converts the children to array. Okay. Now let's go to the website so that I can give you the context. Now you understand the problem that I'm trying to solve and also the question that I'm responding to. But now let me give you the context. Okay. Um Okay, these are the components that you see here. So everything that I will talk about here, it's also here. Okay, so let's talk about since the function is converting the children to array. Okay, it makes use of a React function. Okay, which react.children.toArray. So let's just read and understand from React perspective what's going on here so that you can understand what I'm doing and how I'm using this function. React.children.toArray returns the children opaque data structure as a flat array with keys assigned to each child. Useful if you want to manipulate collections of children in your render method, especially if you want to reorder or slice this .props.children before passing it down. Okay, very simple and straight to the point. In case obviously you didn't get the essence, don't mind. This is what is trying to say. Okay, getting into your old HTML, because most people, when they are using React, Vue.js, and all these modern JavaScript framework, they tend to favor these frameworks over your default HTML and CSS and JavaScript, whereas those frameworks are nothing without your bare bone HTML, because they don't change the tradition of web design, but they are enhancing it. Okay, so whenever I want to explain things in detail, we might as well go back to the essence. The web page that you see here, okay, that you see here, also this one that you see here, as this HTML or this complicated syntax, divs, and whatever. Okay, behind the scene, it's arranged like this. Okay, in your traditional JavaScript and HTML, okay, we what can I say? There's something called DOM manipulation. This is the DOM, okay, document object model. This is the DOM. The DOM is some sort of a tree-like structure where we've got the parent, we've got the child, and we've got the child of a child, and we've got the grandchild or grandchildren. Okay, so that's the idea. So this is the DOM. So in your normal JavaScript, besides the modern JavaScript framework like React and others, we do something called, there's a technique called DOM manipulation. DOM manipulation simply means Okay, JavaScript can come to this element. This element has got children. JavaScript can take this element, unpack it, and loop through it to get each and every child under it, including the grandchildren. Okay, maybe you want to get this exactly, you want to get maybe this all. Okay, meaning that you will drill down using JavaScript until you reach this anchor tag, and then you might get the name, or you might change the color and do whatever. So we call this some sort of DOM manipulation, or DOM traversal, I can say, because you are traversing, moving up and down the DOM nodes. Okay, I hope you get that one. Let's go back. Okay, so this is the DOM. So traversing will mean I want to get to these children. Once I find it, I want to get to its own children. Once I find the old children, I want to get to its own children. As you can see here, there is a pattern which a looping can solve. Okay, you want to get to the parent child. Once you get to the parent, to the parent, you want to get to the its child, and then once you get there, you want to get to its child. Once you get there, there are children there, you want to loop through those children. So do you get the essence of some sort of an array kind of a thing, meaning that you can loop through those children? Okay, enough about traditional and old HTML. Let's go back to where we were. Whatever that is happening here, okay, even if in normal JavaScript we some sort of creating it the hard way, or it's not easy to traverse or manipulate the DOM, React library comes to say that I can make that easy for you. Okay, so with this, okay, we are trying to get into what was complex here. Now we are going to do it a little bit easier. Okay, so meaning that in summary, usually in HTML, or in web design, or in web development, okay, or in front end, let's say user interfaces, you can receive a collection of elements. Okay, with React, using this, okay, using this, you can take this collection of element and convert it to array. Okay, which is an array, it's something that is some sort of a collection that is not necessarily easier to work with, but JavaScript has got some methods that can help you to work with it. Okay, then taking this HTML kind of a structure, this, okay, this HTML kind of a structure, we convert it to array. Now it becomes something that is manageable. Okay, something that we can manage. We can easily separate these, we can easily rearrange these, we can easily use all the array functions that are there. Okay, array methods, let me just say array methods. Okay, we can use all the array methods that are available. And then, as you can see, there are many array methods available. There is slice, there is splice, there is index of. So using all these array methods, now that we have converted this into an array, we can have the freedom to do what we want to do. I hope that one is clear. Let's go back. Okay. Now, this is what I'm doing here. Okay. Let's go to the code. This is what I'm doing here. Am I in the functions? Yes. Okay. So this function, okay, here in just a moment, I'm lost in my own code, but I will find myself. Okay, function. This is not the function that I want. I want this one. Let me go where I'm declaring it. Boom. This is where I want to be. Okay. So this function, okay, even though it does that in a React way, okay, we receive children. Okay, children as the type of React node. Okay, don't mind much about this. This is what it means. We just have this collection. Okay, but in React way, excuse me, but in React way, but this is a collection. We are receiving this. Okay, if this is not clear, this is what we are receiving. This div, it has got children. a lot of them, but that's what we are receiving. Okay, go back, we are receiving it. Okay, so obviously it's going to be an array of React children, meaning that it's a collection. Okay, now what we are doing here, we are declaring, okay, we are declaring array of children, okay, as a React children dot to array. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are creating a variable. This is the variable array of children. Okay, in this variable we are using the function that we have saw previously on the internet. Okay, and we are passing a collection. Here is this collection. Okay, an array of React nodes. Okay, or React elements. Okay, this is the collection. Okay, lastly, we are taking this, we are putting it in here. Boom. Okay, once it comes here, we are changing it into an element structure, an array structure. Okay, let me just quickly, so that we can differentiate between these things visually. Okay, array, let me just say array diagram. I hope it's going to give me something meaningful. Okay, just visually, so that you can see the difference. Good, I like this. As you can see, this diagram, okay, and this one, they are different. Okay, this one looks like it's simpler. Okay, this is an array A. It has got some indexes: 0, index at 1, index at 2. And also you can these can be two-dimensional arrays. You can some sort of use the array method to manipulate this. So what we are doing here, we are taking this bit complicated, we are converting it into an array, okay, where we can quickly go to position so and so, or we can easily arrange. Okay, then let's go back. Sorry about that. Now we are here. We have converted that array of children, some sort of that collection of elements, DOM elements, into an array of children. Okay, we didn't change the types. It's still the same type. If a header, a header was a header, if a div was a div, it is still a div. Okay, this is a head, it's still a head. If it's an href, it's still an href. If it's an anchor tag, it's still an anchor tag. But now we have put it into a structure like this one. I hope this one is clear. Let's continue. Okay, now this uh function, okay, it's becoming intelligent, it's trying to be advanced, because now it's working with arrays. Okay, so what it's doing now, it's some sort of doing some sort of a validation before. Okay, if children dot length, you will know that this is some sort of an array method. Okay, dot length, which is, it will give us how many, some sort of elements do we have. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that means we've got 5 elements. But when it comes to the position of those elements in an array, the position are zero based, so we call this a zero based index. It means that you ask for a position 0 and you find element 1. At position 1 you find element 2. So please understand that, but here we are not getting into details into that. So if the length of this array is less than 2, okay, please alert, this React node takes 2 children. So meaning that whatever element that we will be using this helper, it needs to take at least 2 children. We are accepting here like more than one child. Okay, not one child, more than that, which is at least 2. And in fact, specifically 2, not even 2 exactly. Okay, and then you return an empty array, meaning that we are not going to display anything. So this function is trying to be intelligent, it's trying to be smart, to say that let me govern the amount of children that you must have. It cannot be less than 2, because if it's less than 2, then there will be some errors. Okay, I hope you understand this one. Okay, let's continue. Okay, if obviously the array of children is greater than 2, still we are saying that it accepts only 2. If you have received a collection of DOM elements, okay, React nodes, which is exactly 2, that have got 2 elements in it, okay, a collection of 2, then return it as an array. Should you find less, return an empty array and throw this error or display this error message. And guys, that's it. I hope this is clear. I hope I've explained everything. Okay, so this is the power of React. Okay, if we were to do the same thing, okay, to do the same thing using your vanilla JavaScript here, obviously the code would be like more and a little bit not necessarily complicated, but it will need some JavaScript knowledge and some logic. But because we are using JavaScript is handling some sort of the small minute details of programming and logic, and then it's presenting us with a beautiful interface where we can just use a function like this react.children dot to array. Okay, so lastly, I'm closing. Let me just give you an idea of where can this work. Okay, Matthew, how are you using this function then in your own code? Okay, let's first go to modal dialog. Okay, because modal dialog is using these children to array. Okay, let me just show you practically what's a modal dialog. As you can see, this is a dialog box and it's modal because it's more like it's appearing on top, and the background it's grayed out. Okay, as you can see here, this modal has got obviously these elements. It's like it's 3 elements. There's a button, there's this input and whatever, but in terms of the inputs, okay, it has got 2 elements, as you can see. But let's just go to the code and see how am I using this in this modal. Okay, so when we talk about the modal, we're talking about something like this. We've got this element as a heading, we've got these 2 input UI, and we've got this, and that's all. Okay, so as you can see, this is the modal. Okay, the modal is receiving children and is receiving class name for styling. Okay, const children to array is equal to helper, meaning that we are now using, obviously we have imported it somewhere. Okay, let me see, where are we importing it? Because here we are using it. Okay, import, here is it. Okay, we are importing it. Okay, so now here we are using it. Okay, so we are trying to say here, please helper convert these DOM elements. Okay, this group, this collection of DOM elements that I'm passing here, where am I getting it from? I'm getting it from here. Okay, please convert it into array. Okay, if this there's only one child here, it will that this function will return an empty array to start with, and it will display a message that please supply more than one. If you supply more than 2, it will tell you please supply 2. If you've got 2 children here, okay, it means that those children are going to be converted into an array. Okay, so we are trying to say here, modal, you must have 2 children. Okay, remember, those children doesn't necessarily mean like when it comes to children, we don't really mean anything that is inside. Okay, because if we can look at anything that is inside, this is a child, this is a child, this is a child, this is a child. Okay, but we have to check the modal code so that we can get the context, okay, of why do you need 2 children. Okay, what do you mean by 2 children? Because it is self-evident that this doesn't mean anything that is inside here, as you can see. Okay, let's go back to the code. Now that we've got those 2 children, okay, which are here, now they are converted to array. As you can see, now we are returning, okay, the dialog trigger, okay, meaning that at position 0, there must be a dialog trigger, okay, and then at position 1, okay, there is the a collection of the child that will be displayed here. Okay, so now let's put this into perspective. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, we've got a dialogue modal. Okay, this one. Okay, obviously this is being used into this code. Okay, this is the let's treat this as the client module. Okay, this logo, this text, and this button, they are in the same client module. Okay, this client, it's using this. Okay, so this modal resides in this client code. Okay, as this modal resides into this client code, okay, it receives children. Part of those children, okay, it's this button which must act as a trigger. So this modal code, as it is here, it must consume this button so that when at position 0, that is very important also, at position 0, so that when you click here, it can pop up. Okay, that's why you see in the code that the modal module, okay, when it is used, it must have at position 0, it must have a trigger, which is it consumes a button at position 0 that will act as a trigger. Okay, and then at position 2, it receives another collection. Okay, another collection of React elements or DOM elements. Okay, we are not concerned much about what are those elements, but whatever elements are there, they will be rendered under this VIP access. As you can see, however elements, how many are they will be rendered under this VIP access. As you can see, these are the elements that are rendered under this. We just have to check this send. Does this send comes from those children or it's part of the modal? Let's just quickly check the send button. Is it part? As you can see, it's not here in the dialog. Okay, in the dialog, in the modal dialog. Okay, so this means that that send button, it's part of this collection. And guys, I think that is all. I hope this is clear. I hope I have shed some light. I hope I've given you some sort of a theory and a concept and a code and a concretion of that. A concretion, I mean practically, okay, showing you what's going on here. I'm Matthew Msengati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. If you feel like this video has added value into your whole overall understanding of React child to array, please do me a favor. As a bonus, okay, I am uploading my very first React Native application. If you might be interested in React Native developing mobile application, you can shoot a comment below. I am busy. This is the behind the scene. As you can see, I am busy with my first React Native. I'm uploading it on the Google console. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. So when the app is available, I will let you know and I will send the link. This is the name of the app. Okay, so that's what I'm busy with. So if also if you might be interested in following that series where I will be showing you guys how to develop an app from React Native, from the code up until you deploy it here, you can let me know. Okay. Otherwise, for me, Matthew Msengati, the designer and developer and the hybrid, thank you so much for clicking this video. See you on the next one.